Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of The Take. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Thank you all once again on this Thursday, October 1st, 2020. Man, almost a month away to the election. But first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Tell them that The Take is the weekly dose of pop culture and entertainment weeks of the week. And we the hub of pop culture, and we continue on doing the pop culture show for you, the audience out there. All right, first let's get to the big story. The big story is, man, many people have seen presidential debates since Obama versus McCain, Trump versus Clinton, but this Kennedy versus Nixon, but this takes to another case, another level. Those debates were good, but this debate, many people had dubbed and considered that it was the worst debate in modern presidential history. Well, President Trump, the Republican nominee, and Joe Biden, the Democrat nominee, took the ideas to the voters and said, hey, these are my ideas. Whether Trump was going to stay or Trump was going to go, or where Biden was going to be elected in and fix the problem that Trump might leave his mess. But like I said, a lot's going on. Let's get to the pivotal moments of the debate where Trump interrupted Joe Biden, and Joe Biden had enough with this.
Justice, radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
Who's
on your list?
Gentlemen, I think
this is so unprecedented. We
have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man. The people understand, Joe.
Vote now.
Make sure you, in fact, let people know.
He told Donald Trump to shut up. Donald Trump kept talking and talking, trying to interrupt him. Joe Biden was trying to get his word. He was talking to the people out there, get the people to say, hey, this is what I believe in America. Vote for me and stuff. Donald Trump was trying to do the same, but Donald Trump was on attack mode. He was dog mode. But Donald Trump even got weirder when moderator Chris Wallace asked Trump about COVID-19, about the food and the handling, and here's what Trump had to say.
Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to. But I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
No, I think
the
masks are
efficacy
okay.
of
You have to understand, if you look, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on it, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things.
Trump saying he wears a mask. We get that. Masks are important. They went back and forth about the signs, like Dr. Fauci and Trump's own CDC director. It was just a lot going on that day. And a lot of you people on social media voiced your opinions and said this was the worst presidential debate ever. And some of you saying that even the reporters, even George Stephanopoulos said this.
All the counter. That'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of it. And if it's me, in fact, fine. If it's
the worst presidential debate I have ever seen in my life, a lot more heat than light over some 98 minutes. I want to go to the room right now. John Krall, you were there in the room. You cover the president. Your thoughts?
George, the debate was a total mess. It was a mess of interruptions, petty insults. I was in touch with some people on the floor who told me they were stunned by what they were seeing transpire on that stage. Donald Trump came across like a bully. There was an avalanche of untruth statements that came out. Joe Biden did not have a particularly steady performance. I could say, really honestly, it looked as if both men lost this debate, and in that sense, the real loser is Donald Trump, because as we said at the start, Donald Trump was the one that needed to change the dynamic of this race. He is the one that is losing. He is the one that needed to change the trajectory. He is the one that needed a big win, and that did not happen tonight.
Mary Bruce?
Wow, George Stephanopoulos said it was the worst debate he ever seen, because he been debates when prepping like Clinton and all them, but Donald Trump don't care. But he didn't care, and he had this weird aura where he said about white systematic racism. And watch this.
Groups down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland.
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to do
specifically
that, but
do it?
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and white supremacists and white
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. That's what his FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving.
That's not an idea.
Everybody in your administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas.
Antifa is a dangerous radical
gentlemen,
group.
Wow. Ooh. It even got more ominous too when Trump said something about disallowing white supremacy. Take a look.
Groups down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland.
Sure,
Are you prepared to specifically
do it? I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name.
White supremacists and white supremacists and white
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. That's what his FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving.
That's not an idea.
Oh my God. It's getting more realer and realer. I think, like I said, I won this debate. He talked straight to the camera like I'm doing to y'all. But Trump, I don't know who his debate prep was, who told him he was ready. He wasn't ready. He was being in the attack mode. And, let's take a look at what his supporters had to say.
Few themes he wanted to get across, but Biden had blocks of statements rehearsed. Now, Mr. Trump should have tried to throw him off his game, but again, Donald Trump is not a master guy at the back and forth. The problem was Chris Wallace, all right, and that became a problem that got worse throughout the debate. And here's what happened. Mr. Wallace is a smart man. I don't believe he favored one candidate over the other, but his questions were far too windy, too long, and he didn't have facts at his disposal. For example, to stop Joe Biden from saying, no, my son Hunter didn't do anything wrong in his Ukraine and China dealings. That's simply false. And to allow something like that to go uninterrupted is not doing anybody a service. And Chris Wallace should have had the stats there to say, wait a minute, Mr. Vice President, you want to clarify this. Because it's not about Hunter Biden, it's about Vice President Biden. That he allowed this situation in which his son enriched himself at the expense of the United States government to happen.
Or other done. Because Joe Biden hasn't done anything. I wish he would have hit him real hard for about a minute and a half about what he's done and used the last 30 seconds to just steamroll Joe Biden on the things he has not done. Joe Biden has not really done anything for Black America. 8 years under Barack Obama, what has Joe Biden done? What did Barack Obama do for Black people specifically? I can tell you what he did for LGBTQ, but I can't tell you what he did for Black folks, for people of color. He didn't do anything, but he championed himself as the minority president. He didn't do nothing. So those are things that I think the president should have hit on, and it would have been very easily accomplished on his end. But overall, I think it was a crap show. You know, they were talking over each other a lot. And I think President Trump was a lot stronger when he spoke about the economy, when he spoke about having the best economy before COVID, the Chinese virus. Those things are important to say. And the whole time that I was watching, and I'm looking at you guys over here on the screen, the whole time that I was watching, I was just thinking, if I was a leftist, if I was a person in the middle, which side would I go on? Because I already picked a side. Trump is already my president. I'm going to vote for him immediately. But as a person in the middle, which side would I go on? And I just honestly felt like Donald Trump made a stronger argument, and he was more realistic than Joe Biden.
Yeah, Brandon Tatum and Bill O'Reilly said president did somewhat okay. Now Brandon Tatum, like them hardcore Diamond Silks, and the rest of them, they're gonna stand with Trump. Even on the side with Biden, you got Roland Martin and the rest of them will stand with Biden. So I have to agree that Joe Biden won the first debate. Donald Trump was not ready. He wasn't prepared. And he needs to really get himself together, because if he don't do well in these next two debates, I can just say it, his presidency is finished. And we're right in a month of just going down. So he got 30 days to shape up or shape out. I'm telling you. Whew. But also too, Reverend Al Sharpton, he dished about, before the debate started, about the president. He was on the Wendy Williams show about the president, and watch what the Reverend Al had to say.
Game show. I want the post-game show, and I want the game. Look, what's your prediction? What's all going on? How should we feel? Al, come on.
I think you're going to see a real show. Hopefully it will be a substantive debate. But we're talking about Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, who now is on the defensive, he's been under vicious attack, and deservingly so, on how he mishandled this COVID-19 situation. He's under attack now about his finances. We find out his businesses never really made money. He's under attack because he's trying to bring through a Supreme Court nominee during an election year, some 40 days before an election, when in 2016 they would not let President Barack Obama bring forth a Supreme Court nominee who was 10, 11 months before the election. So he's going to be on the defensive, which means he's going to be trying to attack Joe Biden. He's going to try to distract the public. He's going to try to deal with everything but the issues. And if Joe Biden is not rattled and doesn't get suckered in, he cannot let him sucker in to just going through back and forward and reacting to Trump. He needs to deal with Trump, whatever Trump says, and then cut right to substance.
He's going to ask about Hunter and try to break him down. He's going to ask about Hunter. He's going to ask about Hunter. He's going to ask about a lot of stuff. He needs to be able to be presidential without being a punk. Stand him off, but deal with your policy. Show us what a real president looks like.
The Reverend Al gave Joe Biden the same advice Joe Biden did. He stand out and look presidential and didn't be a punk. He didn't. So, I heavily believe that probably, I don't know what the president got to have to do. He gonna have to really be presidential, not try to go attack mode. Just have to defend himself. If he don't, that's it. That's it. I'm telling you. Whew. All right. Move over from that to in celebrity news. Now singer Demi Lovato has split up with fiance Max Urich. Well, he did not know about the breakup with this.
ET can confirm that Demi Lovato and Max Eric have split just 2 months after getting engaged. A source tells ET, quote, "It was a tough decision, but Demi and Max have decided to go their separate ways to focus on their respective careers. They have respect and love for one another and will always cherish the time they spent together."
What's wrong with being confident?
The confident singer and the actor had quite the whirlwind romance. They had only started dating in March, and he proposed in July. Earlier this month, Demi gushed over falling in love during the pandemic.
We were able to share this time together that we wouldn't have normally gotten to spend. And that accelerated our relationship on a level that, you can't really explain to people, but quarantine either makes or breaks you, and it really made it. So I'm really, really blessed, really fortunate, and continuing to count my blessings every day.
Demi's focus now seemingly seems to be her music, her mental health, and her loved ones.
I reach out to the people around me, and they're very supportive, very caring, and they just remind me of who I am, how strong I am, and it kind of recharges my confidence in myself.
Wow, why would you even get with that dude if you know you ain't gonna be committed to him? Then you want to break up with him? That was too fast, too quick, too soon. Sometimes these celebrities, they move so fast. And then Demi Lovato, she's no stranger. She's not shy about her personal struggles, but cocaine and alcoholism and almost in her life. So she probably need him. I'm just telling you. I don't know. Speaking of that, singer Mariah Carey sat down with Oprah Winfrey, and she has a book coming out. Mariah Carey revealed everything. The almost doing drugs with her sister, almost being a prostitute. The abuse from Tommy Mottola, almost cheating on Tommy Mottola with Derek Jeter. Mariah Carey told our Oprah with this little sneak preview. Take a look.
A wide range of topics during the candid interview. In a sneak peek clip of the Apple TV show, which is set to premiere on September 24th, Mariah got honest about the struggles she felt growing up with her hair due to being biracial.
The curly locks, the golden curly locks, was a bane of existence for you. It was a flaw in your identity for yourself.
Yes, and on both sides of the spectrum, because it wasn't that I didn't like my hair when it was behaving, but as I grew up a little bit, it went from baby hair to like matted, unruly hair that nobody was combing through or understanding that you can't have a little girl running around with mats in her head.
The singer said she felt hated by some of her family for having lighter hair.
I feel like I was hated on by certain people in my family for having the lighter hair. But then if they only realized, like, no, actually I have like matted hair, which is frizzy and curly, and like it could look good if we had some conditioner.
So your mother didn't know what to do with it, and many times she just let it go. And so you were one of those little girls walking around.
Wow, Mariah Carey, leaving the imagination. She even mentioned J-Lo, saying that Tommy Mottola placed J-Lo to compete with Mariah, and I guess that's why Mariah don't like J-Lo. No pun, she calls her the other woman. Ugh. Oh my God. All right, in other celebrity news, Governor Gavin Newsom signs a new Kobe Bryant law that bans first responders from taking death pictures. Now, you recall that Kobe Bryant had passed away this January. Man, it's almost a year. But Kobe Bryant passed away, and the first responders that came to the crash scene took pictures of the Kobe Bryant and the rest of the people that had died and showed them out. So this is a good look for Vanessa Bryant to ban folks and prevent folks that you don't need to show pictures like that at the moment where someone's dead, and it's just people are inhuman and they don't have nothing to show for it, and they don't try to be more compassionate and stuff. That's what I'm looking for, compassionate. Ooh. Speaking of someone not being compassionate, it's Naya Rivera's sister making moves with her ex-husband with this. Wow. Naya Rivera's ex-husband making moves. I guess they both grieving, but at the same time, we're named Makaya. and Ryan Dorsey. I just feel like it's just too quick, too soon, because you're coming off from Nia's death. I don't think Nia would even agree with that. Just people after they die and gone, it's the people that just do even more crazier stuff. Just ooh, telling you right now, crazy. All right, moving on from there, from on talk shows this week. Congratulations to The View's Meghan McCain. She welcomed her first child with husband Ben Dachman, a baby girl named Liberty Sage McCain. Baby McCain got a lot of time to rest, to recuperate, and become a new mom and trying to get herself together. Because when she come back on The View, she's gonna have to get on the foot pedal. She ain't gonna vote for Trump, so that's a given. She gonna vote for Biden, but she's still a Republican, so she just want Trump out of the office, and restore the Republican Party, and have that little baby girl. I know John McCain looking up in above the skies and thinking of that little girl. Tell me. All right, on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. TV personality Wendy Williams lashed out on Nene leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Take a look.
Housewives is that one thing that all the girls use to promote their other stuff. And while Nene is as famous as Bethany has turned it into a legitimate multi-million-dollar situation. Do you know what I mean, Andy?
Yeah, it's a great driver for promotion, and it's a great place to be known and be out there.
And what are they going to do? Is like Greg and Nene, you're going to give them another reality show? That's boring. How about Nene being a grandmother? That's boring.
You would have thought Nene would have just, not Nene, but Wendy Williams would have been a little light on Nene, but she went saying that Nene doesn't have the ability to have a show concept with her family, like they're boring. But you was around Nene, and Nene should knew better. Nene knows better that you can't play around with a snake like Wendy Williams, a two-headed snake. You just can't. But Nene had to see for herself, and the end result didn't come the way she wanted to. Well, Nene set the record straight, and she went on a YouTube channel to call out both Andy and Wendy on their serious transgressions with her. Take a look. Oh man, Nene Leakes going in on. But then Wendy Williams' friend, Representative Malala Yusuf, said this. Ooh, my God. I know it's the beginning of a new month. It's October 1st. We got 31 days in this month. I know Halloween just started, but she like the ghost of something that we don't even know what she could be a ghost of. A ghost. Ooh, you got it. And admitting that, saying that Nene was fooling around with French Montana. Oh my God. French Montana fooled around with a lot of people, even Khloe Kardashian. Remember that? All right. And on Fox Soul, Cocktails with Queens, is that Fox Soul's version of The View with Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox, Selena Johnson, and Claudia Jordan as the host. But one of the co-hosts, Lisa Ray, celebrated her birthday, and she gets a shocking surprise from a person that she know from her past. Take a look.
Happy and so vibrant, that right there is a blessing to be able to stand in that. That right there is what I believe in. That's what I talk about. That's what I envision. And so for that right there, I would say, have at it. And I love you. Like, I appreciate you coming out and verbally saying happy birthday to me this kind of way, because I damn sure ain't heard from you in months.
Okay, so
you guys are both celebrities, and a lot of times the problem, that's why I'm not trying to say that much, is other people making shit worse and saying stuff. I think y'all needed this moment and to say what y'all have to say at the end of the day.
I would say thank you, Queens, for allowing and making it happen, because I'm not sure how long it would have been. What it's been like, almost like since what? December, like half a
baby, no more.
Here now, and like I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all. Y'all don't know shit at all. She do, you do, you do.
Okay. Awkward. Okay. Where does fucking surprise at? Who knew that this vibe was going to go all the way fucking left?
I'm appreciative. I thank you. And all of that.
There it is. Clearly you're hurt. Brad, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I'm hurt.
Right.
I'm trying to fake it. None of that. I'm not trying to do any of that. Oh, yeah. I'm hurt.
No one's trying to make anything.
But you know what? I'm strong. I'm strong. It's all good. Whenever it comes back around, come back around. Because I got shit going on. You got shit going on. Y'all got shit going on. Shit is going on.
You know what? I will say this. I'm actually, you know what? Sometimes you do need to have hard conversations.
Yes. Okay.
Sometimes, listen, we're all Black women. We're all sisters.
Yeah, she gets a shocking surprise from the brat tat tat tat. Looked like Lisa Ray was stunned and shocked, like, what the world? Looked like Lisa Ray wasn't fooling around. I think Lisa Ray wanted to know why you just didn't tell me you was, gay. I think Lisa Ray felt like her brat was close, but brat want that money. Brat got to pay all them bills, them dollar bills, y'all. Remember when Lisa Ray was on the Players Club? She called herself Diamond. She all know what that saying is in the Players Club about we all got to do what we all got to do or something like that. You got to make that money or something like that. But hey, that's brat business. That's her sexuality. Shoot, let it go. Oh hey, let's do it like that. All right. We'll be back with more Take. Don't go anywhere. This is a Take here on Connect. Stay tuned. Back to the Take on this Thursday, October 1st, 2020. I'm your host as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here. First, but join us in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. The Take is the hub of pop culture. But let's get to on the political rundown this week. President Trump, his challenge to Joe Biden making the rounds as usual. We talked about on debate, but people are talking about Trump's pick. Amy Coney Barrett could be the next Supreme Court judge, replacing Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And here's what she had to say about being picked by Trump. Take a look.
Predicting a quick confirmation. I think we're going to have it done easily before the election. Just 36 days out from Election Day, it's full steam ahead. Her qualifications are unsurpassed. This should be a straightforward and prompt confirmation.
Judge Barrett is a former law clerk to the late Justice Antonin Scalia, her mentor, and at 48 years old, she'd have decades to shape the law in America.
I clerked for Justice Scalia more than 20 years ago, but the lessons I learned still resonate. His judicial philosophy is mine too. A judge must apply the law as written.
Amy Coney Barrett could probably well make a difference. What the Republican Party wants to do is place her in that seat. So if anything happens, it's a tie, the Supreme Court can rule with Amy Coney Barrett in it and still keep Trump as the pick. You know how that go. Amy Coney Barrett just, let's see. They said she wants to strike down the healthcare law and abortions and stuff. Roe versus Wade. That ain't gonna happen too soon, too quick on that. So she got a fight on her hands if she do get confirmed. All right. Speaking of Biden, on the Biden side, him and his running mate Kamala Harris waste no time with getting endorsement from this man.
Dwayne Johnson, the former professional wrestling hero turned movie star, is making the announcement today in a social media video, and Sunday Today has the first look.
I have never publicly endorsed a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate in my life, over my career. So I figured let's kick this conversation off this way by me officially publicly endorsing you both to become president and vice president of our great country.
That's fantastic. Thank you. That
means a great deal to us, for real. Thank you.
Really. Thank you.
Dwayne Johnson endorsing Joe Biden for president. Johnson, known as The Rock in his wrestling days, says he and Vice President Biden bonded by talking about their fathers and the importance of earning respect.
Yes, indeed. The great one, The Rock, the people's champion, businessman, actor, spokesman, you name it. The Rock has done it. The Rock picked Kamala Harris and Joe Biden as his ticket to win the nomination. The Rock, you know you sold when you got The Rock. Please, you tell me. The Rock and his celebrity, he'll help you promote, get you to the atmosphere by November. So look for that. That's a big deal, The Rock. Woo. All right. Let's go to the reality show clip down. The reality show clip down this week. All right. Speaking of the Real Housewives, we talked about it with Nene and Andy and Wendy Williams earlier. Now, on the Real Housewives of Potomac, a catfight breaks out between Candace and Monique with this. Like I said, Candace and Monique fighting, breaking out. You know, they trying to garner ratings and keep everyone steady. You know how they go. But even Monique appeared on Wendy Williams to get her side of the story with this. Like I said, Monique, be careful, because you see, Wendy's trying to befriend you like she did with Nene, and look what it turned out for Nene. Don't you be the same casualty how Nene was. I'm telling you right now. Also, on Dancing with the Stars, Carol Baskin played the dance to the samba with the Lion King. Well, Carol Baskin did not make it to the end like she did last week, like she was spared. So, you know how that go. Carol Baskin got eliminated, but look at her reaction. Yep, going right back to the Tigers. Hopefully, Carol, they don't get you for, you know what, with your husband. Because, you know, that's coming down the road very soon. How they want to get you for your ex-husband. Because you did the Dance with the Stars. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. All right. Let's go to Newsies. On Newsies this week, Walt Disney World announced that they're laying off 28,000 people for the COVID. Man, a lot of those people be, part-timers. But let's get that story with a news affiliate. Take a look.
But there are questions about what this will mean for employees in Central Florida. News 6's Jerry Askin joins us now from the newsroom with the latest on this announcement. Jerry?
Lisa, in a statement just released, the chairman of Disney Parks said due to the impacts of COVID-19 in California, not wanting to lift restrictions to allow Disneyland to reopen, Disney now has to reduce its workforce. In a statement, Disney Parks Experiences and Products Chairman Josh Damara said in part, quote, approximately 28,000 domestic employees will be affected, of which about 67% are part-time. We are talking with impacted employees as well as those unions on next steps for union-represented cast members. But again, we must stress right now it's not clear how this impacts the workforce in relation to Disney parks here in Central Florida. A local Disney rep told News 6 they're speaking with Disney. We're also asking Disney and union workers to clarify more. I'm working to find out a whole lot more for News 6 here at 6 o'clock. Live in the newsroom, Jerry Askin, getting results, News 6.
Know how that be. Ooh, it just ends up to the B. But hey, due to the pandemic, things are getting a little smaller and different. So they'll find work somewhere else, and you know Disney will hire you back in a minute. I'm telling you right now. And finally, the viral video of the week. All right, imagine you're in Orange County, California, and you're protesting, and all of a sudden, this woman driver, does this.
That's when violent turn. Take a look. Video shows the moment a car just comes crashing through that crowd. You see them there. The sheriff's office says at least 2 people were hurt and taken to the hospital. There are reports that people chased the car, which eventually stopped and was surrounded by police. An unlawful assembly was declared. The sheriff's office says the driver of the car was detained. Other arrests have also been made.
Wow, the woman driver did that just for a protest, just to tell them get out the way. Lady, you know, if you hit somebody, that's called endangerment and homicide. Ooh, shit, these folks getting crazy. This is a wild week for them. Just getting wilder and wilder each and every week. Just don't stop. Didn't stop this week for Trump or Biden, but you know, for her. All right, that ends the tape for this Thursday, October 1st. You know how we do. Like I said, the tape continues on. We'll see you next week for another edition of the tape. See you later.